Hi, and welcome to this episode of Little Sprout Speech TV. Grab your pen and paper because today I'm here with Miss Lily, who is asleep, and if I put her down, she will scream and I will never get this video made. But I wanted to talk to you, now that the school year is back in session, about IEPs and what to do before an IEP meeting. This is going to be the first of 3 videos. First, we'll talk about what to do to prepare you before the meeting, what to do to prepare you for during the meeting, and what to do to prepare you for after the meeting. But we want to start with before the meeting, since that is step 1. So what do we do before the meeting? Well, I'm going to give you 3 tips. Get that pen and paper ready. Tip number 1 is from the beginning of the school year, so right now, I want you to start working on building a relationship, a positive one, with your child's teacher and school team. And if they have a large team or if it's hard to get a hold of people, focus on doing this with at least one person on the team, like the teacher, or in some cases it might even be the principal. Because the relationship will just help you feel more comfortable and more confident when you go in the day of the IEP meeting, because you'll have that relationship with somebody who's sitting across the table and it'll make it a little bit less intimidating. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to plan ahead and make lists. I sometimes meet with parents and we've gotten together and made a list of all of our thoughts, all of our concerns, everything we want to discuss at the meeting or before the meeting, so that nothing is forgotten, because it can be so overwhelming. It's like when you go to a doctor's office, you walk in, you have all these questions in your mind, and when the doctor says, "Do you have any questions for me?" you go, yeah, and you maybe remember one question, you leave and you're sitting in the car and you're like, "Oh man, I totally forgot to ask, A, B, C, D, the whole reason why I came today." So let's avoid that and plan ahead by putting our thoughts down on paper, making a list, so that you can mention what's important to you during the meeting and bring up anything that you want to discuss as a team. The next tip that I have for you is if you wish to share any private reports that you've had done, it's important to let the team know ahead of time that you've had these reports done, so that you can share them with them and they can have the opportunity to review them, read through them, and you can discuss those results at the meeting, rather than coming to the meeting, handing them that evaluation, and then they kind of sit there like, "Oh, well, we'll review this later," when you'd rather have them review it now, and it might affect the outcome of that meeting. So those are the 3 tips for how to plan for the meeting, what to do beforehand. So let's review them. 1 is to build a positive relationship with at least one person on the IEP team. Number 2 is to plan ahead and put all your thoughts, concerns, everything that's important to you down on paper, so you can make sure to cover it at the meeting. And number 3 is, if you have results from any private assessments or just anything else you want to share with the team, do it ahead of time so they can prepare and you can have a nice group discussion at the meeting. I hope these tips are helpful. I look forward to talking to you same time, same place next week. This is Hallie Balkin signing off.